Hello guys, it's AJ Sports Show and today I'll be doing the NBA playoff predictions. And one of the games is going on right now, Jazz versus Nuggets, but I'll get to that game later. And I'll be starting my predictions off with the West. I'll be making my way to the East. First, we got the LA Lakers versus the Portland Trailblazers. And Lakers didn't do that good in the bubble, but they are a good team since they got Anthony Davis from the Pelicans. And also Portland, they just got a big win yesterday against Memphis, so they can advance to the playoffs and play the Lakers. But I think this game, the Lakers would win because I think Lakers are a good team, and I think they'll beat them. I think they'll win say 4 games, and Portland Trail Blazers will win 1, and I think Lakers will go on to the second round. Next, we got the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Rockets are a good team, and also to describe, this game will also be a Chris Paul homecoming and a Russell Westbrook homecoming because Russell Westbrook used to play for the Oklahoma City Thunder until he got traded with Chris Paul, who used to play for the Houston Rockets. But I think this game, the Houston Rockets pull off the win. I think the Houston Rockets are a better team. And I think Houston and Oklahoma City will play 6 games in their series, and I think Rockets will pull it off with 4 games to win. Next, we got the Denver Nuggets and the Jazz. Like I said earlier, that game's going on right now. And this is kind of a tough thing because Nuggets haven't done that good in the bubble, and the Jazz has. So I think Jazz will go off, and I think this is going to be like a good series. But I think Jazz will pull it off in the final game against the Nuggets. Now we have Dallas versus Clippers. Clippers and Dallas shown team power this year. Dallas actually making the playoffs like this year, and I think Clippers would win because they got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and I think this will be a good game. I think this is going to be a good series, and I think the Clippers will advance. Now over to this side, and I have my favorite team, the Orlando Magic, and we have the Bucks. The Bucks haven't did, it's kind of surprising that all the good teams haven't done that good in the bubble, but all the bad teams have. Like, the Suns went 7-0, and I wish they kind of went to the playoffs because, 8-0. I wish they went to the playoffs because that would have been good for them, and they shown team power all through the bubble, but they still haven't made it. So now we have Bucks versus Magic. And I think Bucks will pull it off. Sorry, Magic, but the Bucks are like a pretty good team, and I can't take that away from them. I like the Magic, but I'm gonna be serious with you guys. I think the Bucks were hiding themselves, so they lost the games, and then they show out to the playoffs, and they're going to win all the games. Next, we have a game that just been played a few days ago, the Pacers and the Miami Heat. But they didn't play in the playoffs, they just played in the final game of the bubble. And, I'm a Florida guy because I live in Florida. I like a lot of Florida teams. That doesn't mean I'll always go for Florida teams like this one. I'll be going for Heat. You guys thought I was going for Pacers, but I think Miami is the better team, the more overall team. So I think they're gonna advance to the playoffs, and I think they're gonna be playing the Bucks. Next, we got the Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, 76ers, they're a good team. Also, the Boston Celtics are a good team. But this one is a battle of the the Northeast. But I think Boston's gonna pull it off, and I think they're gonna have back wins. So they'll have a 7th game, but I think Celtics will win, and they'll go for it. And I think they're gonna win 4 games, and the 76ers 3. Next, we have a very good team, the Raptors, and kind of magic rivals, the Nets. Playoff rivals. So I think Raptors are a very good team. Also, the Nets, because they kept on fighting to get on the playoffs. They're at the number 8 spot in the bubble for a time, but they made their way up and got a lot of wins. But sorry, Nets. I think Raptors are going to advance, and I think Raptors are going to blow Nets out. I cannot see Nets winning a single game against the Raptors, how good they are. Next, we got the Lakers versus the Rockets. Now we're in the second round, and we got the Lakers versus Rockets. And this is going to be a good game. And I think Lakers will pull it off, only having 6 games in their series. And I think Lakers will win 4-2. Get it? 2-2. Now we have the Jazz versus Clippers. And I think Clippers will win this game. And I think they'll have 7. And then at the final game, I think Clippers will pull it off. And now we have a California battle, LA versus LA. Now we're making our way to the East. We have the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Miami Heat. I think the Bucks will pull it off because the Bucks are a very good team, but I think they are good enough to advance to the third round. I should say the final 4. Now we have a really good game, one of the best games in this playoffs, Celtics versus Raptors. And I think this game is going to have the same 7 game. And I think Raptors will have a head-to-head against the Celtics. I think Raptors would win it at the final game, just like the Clippers did against the Jazz. Now we're in the final 4. And now we have Lakers versus the LA Clippers. I think Lakers will win this game because Lakers are a very good team. And no one can say they're not, because Lakers got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Lakers are unstoppable. I think Lakers will make it to the playoffs. Make it to the championship, because that record that they had last season looks like a championship team. Also, the Bucks. I think the Bucks will also have like a back-to-back game with the Raptors, but I think Bucks will pull it off with the win. A tough win, probably a final second, but I think Bucks will also go to the playoffs. To the finals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the NBA Finals. And, Lakers are a good team. Bucks are a good team. The Bucks are at the number 1 spot, and the Lakers are at the number 2. So I think who's going to win is the LA Lakers, the NBA champions. Good job, Lakers. But who knows if this can actually be true? Who knows if Lakers can win? Who knows if Bucks can win? Who knows if all these other teams can win? put your predictions down below and make sure you subscribe to AJ Sports Show. Bye!